Hello, my name is Diego, and I am going to present you a problem that affects a large area of my native country, Mexico. The zone in danger that I am talking about is the Eastern Mother Mountain Range, and more specifically, the part of it that crosses Veracruz. This set of mountains and valleys contains a large amount of our Mexican biodiversity, and is also a common shelter for immigrants and poor citizens. Even more than a shelter, it usually becomes their home. These people usually settle near cities and they hope to maintain a job or even get products from it. However, there is a period from August to October where intense rainfalls are presented throughout the territory. Gullies and landslides appear to follow the rain, and no part of the soil are safe from this event. Not only is this caused by a natural factor, but mainly by us humans. The areas where villages are located are in the outskirts of cities, coincidentally in the mountain range. These structures, the houses built all along the mountain, are not safe for the people. They are really poor, and so is the structure. It is really weak in comparison to other structures. Also, agriculture is managed by very unhealthy methods. These people don't have the money nor the knowledge to afford some friendly methods or techniques that will keep the soil fertile. And also, large forests are cut down to create a space for agricultural fields, leaving the soil even more unprotected to potential rains. These unintentional fires also appear throughout the territory and they spread really quickly. The most certain cause for the occurrence of these fires points out to major building companies. So now we have two problems. Not only are the people not wise enough to take care of the soil, but also major building companies set their target on the forest or more specifically on the land. So they burn a large set of forest to create a space to build buildings. This is complicated but certainly true, as Mexican policies only protect forests that are still forest. If a fire spreads out, the burned area is no longer protected by the government. All in all, this capitalist and bad land management have led the soil unprotected to torrential rains that have a higher impact than they had intended to. At most, in 20 years, the lack of proper governmental control of the land will mean that more than half of the forest in the mountain range, which is the main cover for this soil, will have been burned down by fires and replaced with houses for the never-ending population increase. This settles a problem that we had not contemplated before. If large areas are burnt out, then the soil loses wearability, and so the water power that comes from the mountains into villages or the newly bought or created houses will now have twice as much power as it had before. Combined with many more agricultural fields, also the rain periods will surely take a gigantic toll on these areas as I have mentioned. Each year, lacking a proper protection, landslides will destroy half of communities, and mud rivers will surely leave unfertile soil all along its trail. Not only will the destruction have to cost a really long time to be repaired, but also the flow of rivers and the flood of some rivers that are near will cause the agricultural land to lose fertility, will kill crops, and more people will suffer with the loss of some food. In my opinion, a wiser approach to this problem will be to avoid the mountain range. As it is a potential danger zone, the government should do two things, but before I get into those things, I must say that the mountain range is a danger zone because we don't have enough technology to know how to control such a large space area. There are many potential risks that come from living near it, from landslides to mud rains to explosion or flooding of rivers, we don't have the technology to control these sort of factors. So, avoiding it will be the best scenario, I think. Now, the two things I was talking about will be one, to promote the use of soil-friendly techniques such as manure, ploughing, and terraces for the poor people to live without facing too much danger in rain periods. Now we have two advantages for these techniques. Not only will the people be safe, but also the soil fertility will be preserved. Maybe I know it is really expensive to apply these techniques, so the government could have some promotion campaigns for large companies to invest on these techniques, and this will give the companies a green publicity, and the companies will gain fame. The second method is to expand the growth of the city outside the mountain range. Leave the mountain range as a preserved area, as a park maybe, and in the skirts of the mountains, place the agricultural land. Place all the farmers there, because it is proven that the outskirts, well, the skirts of the mountain, have a lot of fertility. The soil is rich in nutrients. So farmers could start their plantations all along the mountain range, in an area not too close to the mountain, and by so avoid the main problem, that is cutting down trees, leaving the mountain without protection. So these are the options that I consider to be the most suitable for the problem that I have, and maybe by doing this, the soil erosion that has been caused large problems could diminish even more, to the point that we have enough time and enough resources to create really preventive messages or even remediation techniques. Thank you for your attention. Hello, my name is Diego, and I am going to present you a problem that affects a large area of my native country, Mexico. The zone in danger that I am talking about is the Eastern Mother Mountain Range, and more specifically the part of it that crosses Veracruz. This set of mountains and valleys contains a large amount of our Mexican biodiversity, and is also a common shelter for immigrants and poor citizens. Even more than a shelter, it usually becomes their home. These people usually settle near cities, and they hope to maintain a job or even get products from it. However, there is a period from August to October where intense rainfalls are presented throughout the territory. Gullies and landslides appear to follow the rain,